Hey guys, it's Evan the Cat King here with the final episode of Total Drama Ridonculous Race Season 2. We're down to 5 teams. We're gonna reveal to you the finale of my ideal Season 2 of Ridonculous Race and follow-up to the original Ridonculous Race would be. Now, here we go. We're going to get into all the storylines of these 5 remaining teams here. We're going to get into all of the, I'll give you guys the answer to who wins this season. Now, starting things off, we'll start with the 5th place. The first team to get to the carpet of completion is Chef and Chris, the antagonists of the season. Then Noah and Emma, Ennui, Crimson, and finally Lashana and Harold, meaning that Amy and Sami are finally gone here. Amy and Sami, their whole storyline of this whole season is, well, the fact that, yeah, they started off the show hating each other. They absolutely wanted to kill each other at the beginning of the season, but as things went on, they began to grow closer and closer, and now they're walking away from this closer than they've ever been before and actually enjoying each other's company. Now, it's kind of similar to the mother-daughter team, I guess, but better because yeah, but either way, Amy and Sami, their whole thing here was that they grew and became a team and became friends with each other. Actually, yeah, similar to the Step Brothers. Actually, I just realized. No, it's closer to the Step Brothers than the mother-daughter team. But they ended up grown over because they wanted to win so bad. They ended up they realized that they had a lot of things. They became more friends. They became, yeah, whatever. Either way, they are now leaving this competition as friends rather than enemies, and they're pretty happy about that. So even though they lost, they're happy with what happened about competing in the competition, and they're happy about how things went. So now on to 4th place. The first team to make it will once again be Chris and Chef. Then Noah and Emma, and finally Lashana and Harold, meaning that the Goths are gone. A shame that the Goths don't make it to the the finale, but they were the best team to return. This time around, they started off looking to gain revenge against the Ice Dancers, and they finally got it and finally sent the Ice Dancers home. And now they got to keep going. The Goths story wasn't too different from their season 1 storyline, so I might as well not get too much into it. They're mainly the same as they were in season 1, but they got to make it further, which they probably should have in original. But either way, they come in 4th place. And then, now on to 3rd place. The first team to make it is Lashana and Harold. And the other team to make it is Chris and Chef. The antagonists make it to the finale. Noah and Emma lose. And that is the final. This is how it all ends. Now, Noah and Emma, this is it, them working together as a couple for the first time. We'll get into the other 2 teams. Noah and Emma, they're working as a couple. They want to just kind of work, see how well they could do if they ditched Kitty and Owen and replaced them with, well, each other. So they are here competing together rather than apart. See if they can do better than they did before, and they did it. Noah already did a lot better because him and Owen came 8th place, and Emma did better as well. She went from 4th to 3rd, and it helps them realize how good of a team they make. Maybe they're not too they aren't too 100% sure about the relationship or whatever. They want to see how well they work together, and they prove that they are very compatible by making it to the final three of the competition. And yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Now for the winning teams, Lashana and Harold, it's they're a Lashana and Harold. It's mostly the same as usual. They're just like kind of fighting feelings towards one another. Lashana is slowly gaining more and more feelings for Harold throughout the entire season, and end up and in the end they end up probably together as a couple. They are the canonical winners here. There is always a canon and non-canon winners. For me, I imagine this as being the canon winners of Total Drama, Ridonculous Race season 2, because there's always the more canon winners in Total Drama. Of course, like, you can have whatever winner you want in your own idea of what's canon, but you have to it seems as if the show definitely does know who wins and who loses in the end, because like in its own canon story. I honestly might make a video about how which winners are the actual canon winners in each season. So I think I might make a whole video about that, but anyways, in my opinion, to the show, the canon winners would be Lashana and Harold. And they leave with $1,000,000 and being reunited back together. And they're two people that feel like they deserve wins. Both of them probably should have been in All-Stars over like Sierra and Sam. I would have rather seen these two, Lashana and Harold, in that. But yeah, now on to Chris and Chef. They do have a winning ending, but it's not the canonical ending in my opinion. In reality, for me, for these two, the season starts off with Chris just being a rich douchebag and having Chef there to help him win the money just because he wants to be richer. But then as time goes on, he finally feels what it's like to compete as a competitor rather than as the host. He gets to see what it's like to be a competitor, and then sees kind of both like challenges that are completely unfair, like and like dangerous, like the challenges he was doing in the later half, as well as challenges that are not as crazy and like his earlier seasons, like in Total Drama Island. And that helps him realize that he doesn't just want the money to he doesn't want the money for himself anymore. He wants the money to help fund a new season of Total Drama. About halfway through the season, Chris realizes that his faults in the past, and decides that instead of just being a rich douchebag and mean guy again, doing everything real selfishly, he wants to win the money to help himself get a second chance, help him get his redemption, perhaps. And eventually he's determined to win, so he can use that money to either fund or to be the new so he can give it to the winner of a new Total Drama season. And in one ending, they win, and he gets to use it for another season of Total Drama. But in the canon ending, instead of winning it, he'll instead just decide that he'll go to the producers and do whatever it is he can to get another Total Drama season up and going. Him and Chef are the villains of the season, but you gain a bit of sympathy for them by the end, as they still are cheap. They still cheat their way through some of the challenges, but they're just desperate to win so they can get a second shot at Total Drama. And in the end, both endings, it will in both versions of the ending, it will end with Chris and Chef eventually getting what they want and getting another season of Total Drama where Chris has his second chance, his redemption. And that's what I think would be next, a redemption island of sorts. Total Drama Redemption Island would be the next step, in my opinion, after this. Maybe if you guys want me to, I could make a very similar series on that I did with this. A whole season on what I would think Redemption Island would look like, in my opinion. But this was Total Drama, Ridonculous Race Season 2. I hope you guys enjoyed, and, well, I hope you guys liked my decisions in this. If not, I mean, I'd love to see what you would have chosen to be everything that happens in the season. I'd love to hear more, like, what you think. If you want to see more, like, another season of this, kind of like with Total Drama Redemption Island, which then I'd love to do it. And either way, in the end, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.